jail. But I only showed 2 charges in the book.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. The rest of the charges.
Well, who would book him in? How would they amend it?
They would resend I need to get another book.
Okay.
Indicating the 7 charges instead of just 2.
Okay. So jail on Mr. Blount, if you want to rebook him and then reschedule him for the morning, I think that might be the easiest thing to do on the others. What?
Unless they have already.
Unless you have it already set, because we only have a booking sheet with 2 charges on Mr. Blount. All right, so this is Miss Jenkins and Miss. What?
If the interim,
But we don't have him booked in on all 7 of them, right?
he is booked on all 7. All 7 are on the sheet.
Maybe you could send it to Alma again. She said she only has 2.
I'll send it right now.
All right, so Mr. O'Sullivan, do you want to waive the reading of these 4 charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then Mr. Poston is asking for, I can't find it, a large bond. How much, Mr. Poston?
Your Honor, we are asking,
Oh, for the same bond for the guy who had. the
yes,
charges. Okay. For our $500,000 bond, Mr. O'Sullivan, did you want to be heard? And then I'll let Mr. Poston say his piece.
Your Honor, it'll be Deputy County Attorney Boyer that'll be speaking on this one.
Okay. All right. Mr.
Your Honor, I understand that the state's asking for a $500,000 bond in this case, given Ms. Jenkins' lack of criminal history, and given what the charges are, I believe that's an excessive amount. Your Honor, it's certainly not the least onerous release conditions to both ensure her future appearance at future court dates and the safety of the community. As noted, Ms. Jenkins has no criminal history whatsoever. Your Honor, as far as the probable cause statement, much of the probable cause statement addresses actions done by the co-defendant in this case, Ms. Jenkins' boyfriend, who was previously heard on this calendar. Your Honor, I imagine the court's concerned with her lack of ties to the community. Your Honor, we'd ask for a $50,000 bond in this case. I think that's more than sufficient to ensure Ms. Jenkins' future appearance at future court dates. And given her lack of any criminal history, we believe that a $50,000 bond would be the least onerous release conditions. Her co-defendant, Mr. Fieser, was active Air Force. They were residing on the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. As you heard during Mr. Fieser's case, the children are now in DCS custody. Ms. Jenkins has no access to the children. So there's certainly no concerns with any
Contact.
any interaction with the victims, Your Honor. That's for all those reasons we'd submit to the court that the $50,000 bond is the least onerous release conditions to both ensure her future appearance and ensure the safety of the community.
Does she have somewhere else she can live, since it looks like he's not going to be allowed to be in base housing anymore?
And I've allowed Ms. Jenkins to answer that. I know that she wasn't always allowed to reside on the base, so I do believe she has some other housing in Pima County.
I can find somewhere else.
Okay, all right. All right, the state want to be heard then?
Yes, Your Honor. And again, this is Abigail Boyer stepping in for this. So I just want to address a few things. While the interim complaint does address a lot of what the co-defendant did, the state just wants to emphasize that we're pursuing this case as equal culpability. Both defendants lived in the same home. They both knew what was going on. I have watched the video footage myself, and both defendants are equally culpable. We're talking about physical abuse and mental and emotional abuse. I think the fact that the defendant has no ties to the community is extremely concerning regarding a flight risk. She was only here because of the co-defendant, and there's no evidence that she has any employment here and has nowhere to go. So additionally, part of the no employment is that she was the main caregiver for the kids while the defendant was at work. So I just want to emphasize again, equal culpability here. And we absolutely believe that both defendants warrant the same amount.
All right.
Sorry, Your Honor, I just have one more thing. Of concern as well is when the agents of the United States Air Force Office of Special Investigations was planning on apprehending both defendants, it had to be accelerated due to some surveillance noticing that they had been packing their vehicle and possibly leaving for a trip of some kind. And that also is a huge concern to the state as well.
All right.
And Your Honor, if I could just be heard on the last point, I believe the trip was a drive up to Phoenix to consult with my office. That was the trip that was surveilled.
Okay. And I think I'm supposed to be deciding on community safety and the safety of the victims and whether or not the defendant will come to court, not about whether she's culpable of these offenses since she's presumed innocent. So I'm going to appoint the legal defender because right now you're only filing a limited notice of appearance, right, Mr. O'Sullivan? So should I?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I will appoint the legal defender's office. Ma'am, I will order you not to have any contact with Mr. Fezer, not to have any contact with the victims, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms. I am going to hold Ms. Jenkins on a $50,000 bond and pretrial services have posted and the preliminary hearing will be January 30th at 1:30. All right, good night, you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good night, Your Honor.
Oh, wait,
Thank you.
we're not going away yet because Mr. Blount, we have to talk about his other charges, right? Okay.